Hello everyone, we are back with the 7th series. We interviewed for you surf legend, world champion, surf photographers, shapers, and many more. We hope you like the series and please stay tuned for more amazing news. Mahalo! Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of the 7th series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us I'm so happy because we have a surf legend, the king of surf, JJ Moon. Among his great achievements, JJ Moon holds the world record for nose riding with a time of 5 minutes on a single wave. JJ Moon is the only man in the world to shoot the Malibu Pier. JJ Moon was said not only to have shot the Tubal Banzai pipeline, but to have emerged from it completely dry, with his hair nearly cold. But JJ Moon Peak's achievement and probably his best feature is Hanging 11. If you want to know how he ever did it, please follow today's episode. JJ Moon, aka Ned Eckert, is here with us. Good morning, Mr. Eckert. Welcome to the show. Where are you today?
I am in Newport Beach, California.
Fantastic. How is the weather right there? Everything is all right? Is a good time?
No, it is not. It's a marine layer. It's what we call out here a marine layer, which is we don't have sun yet, but we don't have no wind either. But just a normal day on the beach.
Okay, normal day on the beach. Today we're going to talk about many things. Of course, we're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about JJ Moon, of course.
Yeah, JJ Moon.
Yeah, we have to. But the first question that I have for you is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
The most important thing to me was catching the wave and timing it. And once you did that, then you could get up and go and that went fast. You know, you learn fast here. And all of that was real good. It took me probably maybe a week over in Hawaii just to get used to paddling, timing the wave, catching the wave and getting up. You know, with the Beach Boys. I don't know, you know Rabbit K. Kai? Mm-hmm. He was one of the teachers over there, and great guy. And this is 50 years ago.
Okay.
We're talking about. That was 1955.
Quite recent.
Yeah. Anyway, and then coming back here, I came back to Malibu with and surfed with a lot of famous guys just beginning and learned a lot real quick. People like Miki Dora, Mike Doyle was just a beginner when I was here. Mm-hmm. And, of course, a lot of these people are not with us anymore. They're in heaven, we hope.
I'm sure they are. And what was your first proper surfboard? Like, I guess from Hawaii you moved to Malibu and then you bought yourself your first proper surfboard. What was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a Dale Velzy.
Oh, wow. Not bad.
A Velzy board, yeah.
Not bad. Was it custom made or was out of the?
It was not custom made. It was it was made. It was just a board, and then after I got going, then he made me another board that was great, and it was pretty much to my liking. It was a 9'1" longboard. See, in those days, there were no short boards. They hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
And so it was all longboards pretty much. And, you know, different types, of course. And Velzy was the big guy out here in California, in Malibu and Santa Monica and Manhattan Beach. And he built the boards. He was the guy back in those days. And the only other guy doing them was down in San Clemente, the area, and then it mushroomed like crazy, as you know.
Yeah,
everybody started building boards.
It was like the time, where like longboard and surf started to become very famous and in the movies, and so I guess.
Oh yeah.
And do you still have those boards of Velzy, perhaps, or?
I don't have the original Velzy. No, that went at auction about that's been about 14 years ago. But I mean that got out of. See, they started making better longboards too. That were lighter, but work just as well. And I have those now, and I have boards now that were made especially for me. They're about 9.3, and the same deal. But the thing with them is they paddle easier. They're lighter, but in a wave they're just as good or better.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, of course. The weight,
so, they're good, but there are not that many people still riding long boards. There's quite a few, but nothing like the short boards. When I go out surfing, if I go out in front of my house, I live right on the beach, and if I go out, it's not a point break, it's a shore break, and they're not really as good, and your ride is half as long, and but you take what you can get, right?
Yeah, of course, always.
Yeah, and Malibu happened to be the best point break around, and still is. However, when I was surfing it back then, there wasn't the crowds we're getting now. I mean, the crowds now. There's a place that I don't know if you're familiar with the surf breaks, but there's a place in South County, and it's by San Onofre, and it's called the Trestle.
Yeah, of course.
And that's a point break, and but that gets I guess I don't surf there, but that gets a tremendous from the guys that I talk to. It's a great place. However, the problem is it's very, very crowded.
Yeah. Back then in the 50s, it was not crowded, right?
Not at all. 50s, 60s. I'm talking, when I talk 50s, now it makes me sound a little old, but it's late 50s. No. That's 58, 59, 60, 60s. That was the Gidget era. And, that was the Malibu area, and that was great.
Yeah.
And, on a Sunday, on a crowded Sunday, you might have 10, 12 guys in the water, which is great, because that's hardly anything, because guys are catching waves, other guys are paddling out, and it worked out fine.
Yeah. Actually, people was waiting for a buddy to come surf with, right? In case there was any problem, at least you had a buddy that can help you out in the waves, right?
Oh yeah, you always go with a friend.
Yeah,
most of the time, if you have a friend that surfs there and everything. Yeah, I used to. There was a real group of people at Malibu that we all knew each other, and it was a great place to be. I mean, at that day, and then of course, I went over to Hawaii, and that's where I met Joey Cavell.
Yeah,
and I've known Joey for 40 years, 50 years.
Yeah,
we're the same year in school and same age
and great friendship, right? So that's
we've been friends for years.
Amazing. And what do you consider was the best wave of your life?
Oh my God,
difficult question.
Yeah, the best wave probably was a wave at Malibu. It was one of the bigger days, about an 8-foot day, and it was point break, 8-9 foot, and it was there on a weekday when there was hardly anybody there. There was like three or four people, and it was a work day, and school was in session, and I was in college, and of course I took the day off, and. And it was just a beautiful wave. I mean, most of the waves up there were all great, but this one was just super. And it wasn't the biggest wave, but it was a good wave, good riding waves, and it was great. But see here, when I paddle out in front of the house or go in, I'm in just a bathing suit, just trunks, and most of the guys out there are younger. And they're all in suits, wetsuits, so they stay warm. And they all have leashes. And in our day, we didn't have any leashes either. Yeah. So it made it little more tough to ride a wave without a leash, you're fine. But if you're riding at a place like the Trestle down there and you lose your board, and the Marines down there can come along the sand and pick it up and take it.
Yeah.
So it made it kind of hairy to surf there, but not now. Now, from what I understand, they're not there much, and everybody's got, has things on the end of their board to keep it, and so it's not a problem. But also, I've also heard the Trestle is very crowded. Yeah. So it's interesting. It really is what's going on.
And it will get more and more crowded. People will not stop trying to surf, and that's the reality we are living today. A bit different than
past.
Yeah.
It's about triple. Yeah.
But there are still places all over the world that are kind of secret, and people want to keep secret that that still you can surf without getting into traffic, let's say, issues.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Before you were referring to people that were surfing to you in those early with you or you knew in those early days in California, and of course the name of Miki Dora, it's a legendary name in surf culture and surf history. So I would like to ask you, what is your best memory of or Miki Dora, or the funniest one? Because he was a very funny guy as well, not only a great.
He's a very funny guy.
So, what was the funniest memory of him?
Oh my God! Well, there were a lot of. Probably one of them was one day at Malibu years and years ago. I was up there with Mickey, and there were very few people there, and it was one of those days where, it was an okay day to surf. But it wasn't great. It was 2 to 3 feet and nothing really happening. And no one out in the water, no lifeguards. See, Malibu never had a lifeguard there in the old days. So it was just, you're on your own, Like all the beaches in Orange County have lifeguards. And up there you were on your own. And so I went up, and I didn't know what you never know. You didn't have it on TV where you could, like they do now, where they can see what's going on all the beaches.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is the old days, and you just took your chances. And it was a nice day, so we went up there, and I went up there, and he was there, and he said, "I'll tell you," he said, "it's going to be a very boring day." And I said, "Oh, it'll be okay." But and so after about an hour, we were the only 2 guys there. And the reason was it was possibly one of those landslides on the road going up. It was keeping anybody that was going to go there that day out for a while.
Yeah.
So we were there. After about an hour and a half, we got real bored. So Mickey said, "Let's go look and see." There was a canoe at the end of the river mouth, which belonged to someone up there. They had a big house that lived on the point right there. And he said, "Come on, let's take the canoe. The paddles are in it, and we'll paddle up the river mouth, for something to do." And of course, Mickey, didn't really care whose wife was what.
Definitely.
And, he was quite a character. And so I said, "Okay, we'll try it and give us something to do." So we paddled up and just had a nice paddle, about a mile up the river, Georgia. Not quite that far, but a good distance. And had a good time up there. And, it was a beautiful day, a sunny, warm Malibu day with nobody. And it was during the week, so there was no one there. And it was, 40, 50 years ago, too. So anyway, we paddled back down and got kind of the water always runs down. So it gave us a little ride, gave us something to do. So we did that for an hour and a half and just had a good time and got to know each other real well, although I knew him pretty well. And that was one of the funniest stories I've ever had. But with him, but I have another story that can match any story.
Okay, then I'm ready for it.
All right, this is the last Miki Dora story because I had a lot of them.
Okay.
But he was a good friend, and Mickey sometimes kind of went a little astray of the law, if you want. He was a different type guy, and anyway, there was times when the police were looking for him. And I was coaching football and basketball at Beverly Hills High School. And I was out on the field one day with my phys ed class. And there was a guy, two guys actually, two men, dressed in suits, came walking over to me. And one of my students said to me, "Coach, those do not look like parents." And I said, "They sure as hell don't." And so they came over and they said, "Are you Ned Eckert?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Also known as J.J. Moon?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "Well, we'd like to talk to you for a minute." And they flashed a badge.
Wow.
And I said, "You're also a very close friend of Miki Dora's." And I said, "Yes, I am." And they said, "Well, we'd like to know where he is right now." And I said, "I really could tell you. I don't know. But the last I heard, he was in Paris or France, somewhere in there." Now, I had heard that, but I also heard he'd left.
Okay.
So I knew, about a week before. So, but I did not know really where he was. And it turned out they were looking for him, and he was in Africa, in West Africa.
Wow.
And that was, they were looking for him for something, and I don't know what, but it was pretty funny,
Definitely, you didn't want to get in trouble because of him, right? But I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to tell on him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was a good friend. And, he was different. Let me put it that way. Can I put it that way?
Yeah.
He was definitely a different guy. And he had his group of people. But, he was a shame. He got cancer and passed away not too long ago.
Yeah, unfortunately. So you started to refer to J.J. Moon. So now let's talk about J.J. Moon, the king of the surf. So it's a very important title. And is it myth or is reality?
Well, it's not reality. I mean, I'm a fun guy, and I had a surf team, and it ended up down here. What it amounted to was a bunch of guys that were good surfers, Joey and people like that, were over in Hawaii, and they thought it'd be fun to have me come over. And I was not to their quality, but I could surf. I could take off and go. And so they said, "Well, let's get Ned over here." And it was J.J. Moon, and he was the Lake Michigan. He won the Lake Michigan Open. Mm-hmm. Well, there is no Lake Michigan Open, so they sent me an airline over, and I was over there with Mickey and Joey and all the good surfers, and we were there in for the Makaha surf deal.
Yeah.
And that was and then I started the surf club, and I just did it out of fun. And it was just a fun thing to have a surf club. It's when they were at the J.J. Moon Surf Club. And we had a T-shirt and we had a towel. Okay. And all the good guys joined it. Mickey Munoz, Dora, Joey, they were all in it, and they all had towels and everything. And I had no idea what the ad, because I put an ad in Surfer Mag, and I had no idea what the volume of that thing was back then. There weren't a lot of magazines, but it hit Surfer, and I started getting people wanting to, we charged something like $20-$30 to join the club, and and I would send them the T-shirts and the towels and the decals. Right now, I understand that there is a J.J. Moon decal you can get online if you can get it, if you can find it. The last one sold for $150.
Wow.
And these went for about a nickel back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's how it started. And it got to be wherever I went, I saw the T-shirts, the towels, everything was all over. When I went to Australia, they were down there. They were in New Zealand. They were in, God, you name it. Rarotonga even had a T-shirt. And, it was crazy. It just was, they were all over, surf shops sold them and everything. And if they got demand for more, they, got more from people.
It turned out to be a good business too, but the adventures of J.J. Moon are quite impressive. I read some of them, like the famous 5 minutes nose riding, the Ang 11.
Now.
The Ang 11. Yeah, you have to share a secret with us. How did you Ang 11?
How did I do what now?
Ang 11, instead of Ang 10.
Oh, hang 11. Yeah, you have to have 11 toes. To hang 11.
Of course.
Of course. How else can you hang it? Yeah. Oh.
And there was the 5 minutes nose riding. That another one I like. And as well, there was the tube in the pipeline where you emerge dry out of it, right? After doing the tube in pipeline. So it's a lot of adventures that J.J. Moon accomplished in his career, right?
Yeah, the pipeline. I remember the pipeline, all right. Yeah, God, that was the problem with the pipeline. I always, that's a great ride. It's a left, or it was for me, but it's still okay. And that reef is it's about 4 feet under where you're riding on the wave, but it looks like it's not even that shallow. It's a pretty hairy ride, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But I didn't make a habit of riding at the pipeline.
You didn't. Okay. You were like the champion of Lake Michigan only.
Yeah, that's right. And that was just fun. That was just a fun thing.
But it's great, because you did it with your old friends, So it was.
I did it with the friends. We were just having fun back then.
Exactly, yeah. You had fun, and at the same time, you created like this icon of surf, because till today, J.J. Moon resonates and means something. If people even buy $150 decal, because it means that it entered in the surf culture, isn't it?
I guess it is. I haven't gone to all the places you have probably been in, but it's around, I guess. I mean, I don't know if it's still around, but I think it is. Okay. The last time I went to Australia was a long time ago. I was down there at a place called the Waikiki Surf Club, and it was on the beach, and there was a restaurant and bar there right on the sand. And I was with some friends, and one of them had a J.J. Moon T-shirt on, and a kid came up to him, and I was just in trunks. It was an outside bar, and he went over to him, and it was a guy a friend of mine named we called him Blackout Bullis,
okay,
and he was a Malibu guy, and the guy came over to him and. Real loud. I could hear it. I wasn't more than 3-4 feet away at the bar. And he said, "Oh my God, a J.J. Moon shirt." He said, "Where in the hell can I buy one of these?" And he said, "Well, if you just turn around and look, there is the real J.J. Moon, and he'll tell you." Wow. And the guy looked around and he couldn't believe it, that it was me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that someone would even, Australia is 12 miles. 12 hours in a jet. It's not right around the corner. But I've seen them with everywhere. I saw one when I was in Rarotonga, which is an island 9 miles due south of Los Angeles. And it's near the Tonga Isles and all that. And there's one. I went up on a plane that only held 7 people and took us from one of those to another little island with an atoll on it, and we landed on not on an airplane strip, but we landed on a golf course there.
Oh wow!
And there wasn't anybody there hardly, And we went out to their main beach, and it was a beautiful beach with a reef break, and it was just, inside was just beautiful. And we were there for an hour or so, and by God, there was a gal that walked by with a J.J. Moore shirt on, and we were at the end of the earth. I thought, so you never know where they'll pop up.
Yeah, exactly. You should make maybe a rerun of a replica of those T-shirts. Maybe.
Oh, we've had some. We've had some. Not recently, not in the last 10 years, but and the decals are the thing that people really are going after now. From what I'm told, I don't know what's on the internet. I can't. If a guy has 4 or 5 decals and wants to sell them, he can go on the internet here in California and sell them for name his price.
Yeah, you can make a good.
You know that. All that's going everywhere.
Yeah, good money out of them, definitely. Good profit. Yeah. And in your life, you met a lot of surf legends, surf personalities. Is there one meeting with one of them that was particularly meaningful for you?
Probably the one guy that I really enjoyed when I first started surfing over in Hawaii was Rabbit Kekai.
Okay.
And this is going back, oh God, it's going back 50, 60 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's passed away now, but he was a great guy. And he helped me very much because I was over there just on a holiday, and I knew how to body surf and that, but I hadn't learned how to board surf yet. It was a long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody's got to learn once, right?
Yeah, of course. We're still learning, every day. It's still improving.
Yeah.
And
what? Another interesting point too. You've heard of Mike Doyle, probably.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Legend. He was a famous guy. I remember the first day Mike Doyle came to Malibu. I was out. It was a beautiful 5-foot day. Everybody was having fun. Dora was there. Every tooth steak and all the boys, And you see, up in Malibu in those days, there was no lifeguard. There was no law or anything. He just wide open, babe. And so we were there, and this kid came up to me and talked to me and said, "I've seen you're out here surfing." And he said, "Well, what's the secret? Because you seem to get a lot of waves to yourself." And I said, "The secret is let the guys get the first few waves on a set, and then you've got the wave to yourself."
Exactly.
And do that, and don't get in anybody's way, especially Dora's.
Yes.
Because he used to run people over up there if you didn't know him. And but Doyle, I remember Mike Doyle very well when he was just learning, and he learned real fast, and he became a great surfer. And of course, he's no longer with us either. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And Tom Morey passed away just about a year ago.
Oh yeah, that was.
You've heard of the Morey Boogie, right?
Yeah, of course. He was. I wanted to interview him, but unfortunately, what to do? Life.
Yeah, he was a very good friend of mine.
Life is unpredictable, and But the point is that you see, like, people still conserve kind of legendary status, means whatever they've done stays, and their their experiences, their legend, if you want to say, still continue after their passing. And of course, their passing is very, very sad. Like recently with Dick Brewer, for instance, in Hawaii. But the legend and the things that they have done will continue forever. So that's what at least is, if you want to say, is the good side of it, is that they are unfortunately dead, but they are still alive with us in a way or another. I believe. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And so today, what Ned Eckert or JJ Moon does in in Newport Beach is he still go to surfing? You told me before, right? He still catching...
I still surf occasionally. Yeah. With the board. But see, here's the boy. I don't go to the point breaks, but here's a beach break, which is once you've been spoiled with a beach break, with a good long ride. With a point break, beach break doesn't do me, But I like to mess around with it, once in a while.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
And I body surf now, and I get wet and do the whole deal.
Yeah,
but I'm getting old. Joey and I are. I don't know. We're the same class, graduating class from high school.
My God.
Not the same high school, but the same year.
But as long there is the possibility still to go to the sea and enjoy and have like...
Oh, yeah, of course. Live on the sea.
Yeah, exactly. Joy is...
Have you been to Newport at all?
Yeah, of course I've been. I've been like a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And still...
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
well, if you ever come by, you have my phone number and everything. Call me.
With great pleasure. We're gonna finish our interview with a short Q&A, so question and answer. Please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind, okay? It's gonna be very quick. Same question for everybody, even Joy answer to the same question. The best surfboard that you ever ridden?
Velzy Jacob.
Your favorite shaper, I guess you give me the same answer, right?
Yeah, I really don't know the shapers. I just know the Velzy boards were great.
Yeah.
They're old boards now, and they're probably out of style, but they were great.
Personal question, your favorite song or favorite kind of music?
Yeah, rock and roll, bud.
Why not? That's good. Your favorite surf spot? I guess I know the answer as well.
Yeah, Malibu.
Yeah, definitely legendary. A favorite surfer of all time?
Probably Greg Knoll.
Yeah, definitely. Waimea Bay legend, right? And California legend. I had the opportunity to interview him a couple of years ago. It was a great
Oh, you did?
Yeah, great time. Huh? Great time. He was such a fun person, right? Full of life, and it's when I asked him, Mr. Knoll, do you consider yourself a legend? He answered me, if you say so, I consider myself a legend. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's a good answer. Yeah.
He told me we were just a bunch of guys eating peanut butter sandwich in Waimea.
And riding 25-foot waves. So
exactly.
He may have left that out. You don't find many guys riding those big waves.
But for him, it was like, as he told me, it was like just living his life with his friend. It was nothing more than that. And then, of course, he became legendary. And of course, he did what he did. He did amazing with the legendary surfboards or the films, whatever. But at the beginning, it was just him and his friend. And this is what mattered for him. Right,
so, right. I understand.
Yeah, it was important. The last question is a little bit unusual, but we ask everybody on the show. I like to know your favorite relationship advice.
Just don't take people too seriously. Have fun with them and just enjoy life.
It's important. As simple as it is, as powerful it is, I guess. It's life is made to be enjoyed, right?
Right.
Exactly. Thanks a lot for being with me today, and I look forward
I appreciate it. Thanks for
see
calling.
you soon. And if I pass by Newport Beach, definitely I'll give you a call. And
definitely,
I'll try to bring one of the JJ Moon T-shirt with me if I find one.
Yeah, that'd be a real collector's item.
Of course.
I don't know what they're worth, but I don't know who's making them anymore. The decals are the thing that puzzles me, because when you have a decal, I had it made, and I had a lot of them made because we ran out, and hell, I'd see them on cars wherever I went, through the years. Now I don't see that many now because but they're around, I guess, and we have a thing called eBay.
Yeah, of course.
And you're familiar with it. And the last one that's just sold on eBay was $150, and so obviously they're in demand.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's buying them, but they're in demand.
I don't know either, but it's good. It's good that they're still buying. Means that they love you.
Yeah.
They appreciate what you will be able to build. Thank you so much, and I wish you a great morning, Ed.
Well, thank you for calling, and I appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!